There's a hidden flaw in how most people have been taught to manifest. Subtle yet powerful enough to keep entire generations stuck in a loop of waiting, scripting, and visualizing, only to realize that months, even years later, nothing has really changed. And the strange thing is, it's not because manifestation doesn't work. It's because most people have been practicing it in slow motion, not on purpose, but because of how the idea itself was designed. You see, buried inside mainstream manifestation teachings is a beautiful-sounding lie, a belief that if you focus long enough, visualize clearly enough, and repeat your affirmations consistently enough, the universe will eventually deliver what you want. Sounds logical, right? Empowering even. But look closer and you'll notice a dangerous assumption underneath it all. The idea that what you desire isn't here yet, and that you must do something to bring it closer. And in that single belief, you separate yourself from the truth of the quantum field. Because the moment you define your dream as something that must arrive or unfold, you step into a timeline where it doesn't exist yet. You vibrate at the frequency of waiting. That's why manifestation can feel slow. Not because reality is pushing back, but because you're still energizing the version of yourself who believes it takes time. But here's what most people miss. The quantum field doesn't respond to time. It responds to coherence. And coherence isn't about effort. It's about alignment. The harder you try, the louder you say, "This isn't mine yet." The more you visualize it as future, the more you teach your nervous system to feel its absence now. And that's where spirituality often turns into delay through well-meaning advice like trust divine timing or be patient with the universe. But in quantum terms, time isn't a delivery truck bringing your dream. It's a mirror reflecting your current signal. It doesn't reflect your intentions, your vision boards, or your journal pages. It mirrors the frequency you're broadcasting right now. And if that frequency carries anticipation, urgency, or longing, what shows up in your life is more of the same, but more waiting, more wanting, more almost there energy. That's the core misalignment. You're not meant to chase reality. You're meant to collapse it. And collapsing reality doesn't happen someday. It happens now. Manifestation was never supposed to be a method or a ritual. It's a remembering, a return to vibrational precision, a state so coherent, so stable, that the universe has no option but to reflect it immediately. When your inner state perfectly matches the reality you desire, the field responds instantly. That's not mysticism, that's physics. But most people never reach that level, not because they can't, but because they're trapped in the loop of becoming. Always trying, always improving, always almost there. Yet the quantum field doesn't respond to almost. It responds to embodiment. And here's the truth that dissolves most of the noise around manifestation. There's nothing to attract. You're not a magnet pulling things in. You're a tuner locking into a frequency that already exists. And once you're tuned in, what matches that signal has to appear, not in time, but in alignment. And alignment moves faster than time ever could. That's why manifestation feels slow when misunderstood, and instantaneous when embodied. The shift doesn't happen because you've been doing the work longer. It happens when you start broadcasting your reality with absolute clarity. Most people are chasing magnetism, trying to become magnetic. But the truth is, you already are. The real question is, what signal are you holding steady? If your frequency is rooted in lack, you'll keep attracting situations that remind you to need. If it's anchored in effort, you'll keep finding things that demand struggle. But if you embody alignment, if your energy and belief are one, life mirrors that instantly. Here's the radical truth. You don't need to become more powerful to manifest faster. You just need to stop feeding energy to the version of you that believes it takes time, because time isn't the distance between intention and outcome. Time is simply how long it takes for your vibration to stop contradicting your desire. And the moment that contradiction dissolves, reality bends. So the real question isn't how do I manifest what I want? It's why do I still believe I have to wait? Once that belief fades, everything accelerates. Not because you're rushing, but because there's nothing left to resist. You stop trying to make it happen, and instead, you become the version where it already has. And that is faster than thought. For too long, we've been taught that reality is something external, something that moves in straight lines. obeys rigid rules and unfolds over time. But quantum physics, when understood beyond the math, reveals something profoundly different and far more empowering. Reality doesn't unfold. It collapses, and it collapses in direct response to the observer, to you. Not the you who's wishing or waiting, but the version broadcasting a signal so coherent, so aligned with a particular possibility, that the universe has no option but to organize itself around it. That's the quantum shortcut, the point where effort becomes irrelevant and time becomes obsolete. It defies every traditional manifestation model because it removes the process entirely. It doesn't move step by step. It skips straight to coherence. Through that alignment, time collapses. Distance disappears. Potential becomes form. Not by force, Mahdi, but through energetic precision. The world you're living in isn't being built piece by piece. It's being selected and instantly, based on your vibration in each moment. And here's the hidden part most never realize. The quantum field isn't waiting for you to be ready. It responds the moment you observe, and observation in the quantum sense isn't about looking, it's about being. That's why timelines are fluid. You're not walking through time like a traveler, you're conducting it like an orchestra. Every emotion, every belief, every pulse your body emits is collapsing infinite possibilities into a single frame. You're now. But most people still treat reality as something slow, fixed, and solid. They say things like, "It's coming," or "I'm working on it," not realizing that each time they do, they're locking themselves into the version that doesn't yet have it. You're not waiting for reality to catch up to you. Reality is waiting for your frequency to stabilize. And the instant it does, the shortcut activates. Because in the quantum field, nothing is far away. Everything already exists, overlapping waveforms, infinite probabilities, waiting for you to collapse them through coherent observation. The cleaner your signal, the faster the collapse. And that's not a metaphor, that's physics. In the famous double-slit experiment, electrons behave differently depending on whether they're being observed. When no one's watching, they exist in a state of superposition, infinite possibilities overlapping at once. But the moment observation enters, the wave collapses. The particle chooses, and that choice, that collapse, isn't just shaped by measurement, it's shaped by expectation, which means what you expect becomes what you get. This is why most people unknowingly manifest what they fear. Because fear is an incredibly powerful observer. It's charged, it's focused. It repeats itself like a signal looping in the background of your mind. And every time fear floods your body, it sends one clear message to the field. This is my reality. And the field agrees. It collapses experiences that match your dominant signal, not as punishment, but with flawless precision, because the universe isn't personal. It's responsive. You're not manifesting outcomes. You're manifesting certainty. The field doesn't respond to desire. It responds to dominance. Whichever emotional frequency dominates your system, that's the one that shapes your world. This is the shortcut, but it demands that you release control. Because the moment you try to force the field with thought alone, you create static. You send mixed signals, saying one thing while vibrating another, and the quantum field, always faithful to vibration, doesn't mirror your words. It mirrors your state. To use this shortcut, you must become the observer who doesn't look for proof, but observes from knowing. That's the difference between hopeful projection and aligned vision. Aligned vision feels complete, grounded, inevitable. It doesn't ask when. It doesn't search for signs. It simply knows. And that knowing pulls energy into form. The wave becomes particle. The potential becomes matter. The imagined becomes memory. That's why quantum manifestation is faster than traditional methods, because it isn't limited by time. The moment you step out of linear logic and into frequency alignment, the universe stops delaying. It mirrors instantly. And if it doesn't feel instant yet, it's not because the field is slow, it's because your signal isn't steady. Your work isn't to push reality to move faster. It's to become so coherent, so clear, so stable in your energetic identity that reality has no choice but to fold itself into alignment with you. That's how the universe shortcuts time, not by rewarding effort, but by obeying coherence in the fastest, Path to coherence isn't through thinking your way into it. It's through feeling your way into it. Feel it vividly, repeatedly, until your body believes it's real, until your breath moves with it, until your choices rise from it, until waiting itself feels irrelevant. Because the moment you stop waiting, life stops taking time. And in that moment, you no longer walk toward your future. You collapse into it. If thoughts alone created reality, your life would already look exactly like your vision board. You've imagined it, written it, visualized it thousands of times, and yet, for many, little changes. Not because you're doing it wrong, but because you've been misled about what actually collapses reality. It's not the thought, it's the frequency beneath it. The quantum field doesn't speak in words. It doesn't understand mantras, or affirmations, or journal pages. It responds only to energetic coherence. And that coherence is generated through emotion. Not just fleeting emotion, but the one that hums in the background of your being, even when you're not thinking about your goal. That's the hidden mechanism behind accelerated manifestation. The field responds to your dominant emotional state, not your conscious intention. You can write about abundance every morning, but if the rest of your day vibrates with worry, the field will mirror that anxiety. You can visualize love in meditation, but if your nervous system still anticipates loss, it will project that expectation outward. This isn't punishment, it's precision. The field is flawless in its accuracy. It reflects what you are, not what you ask for, and what you are, moment to moment, is emotional. That's why transformation accelerates the instant you feel it. First, because emotion is the language of energy. It carries the voltage that turns possibility into form. Thought set direction, but emotion powers the signal. No voltage, no transmission, no collapse. So the key isn't to think better, it's to feel clearer, because your body doesn't wait for proof. It responds to instruction, and emotion is the most powerful instruction you can give your field. That's why a single, genuine moment of gratitude can shift more reality than weeks of mechanical repetition. Why one deep breath taken in full trust can open timelines that hours of effort never could, because emotion, not thought, is the language of collapse. But here's what most people overlook. Emotion isn't a reaction. It's a choice. It's not something that happens after you get what you want. It's something you must generate before. Not as a performance, not as a trick, but as a signal, a declaration, the emotional signature of the version of you who already lives in the reality you're calling in. That version of you doesn't just think differently, they feel differently. Their nervous system is calm, their posture open, their energy stable, their frequency steady, not because life made it easy, but because they chose to feel first, and that choice is the secret to speed. Manifestation only feels slow when emotion is conditional. When you say, "I'll feel abundant once the money comes," or "I'll feel loved when the person appears." Because in doing that, you place your signal after reality, downstream from creation. But in quantum manifestation, the signal comes first and the collapse follows. So the question isn't, what do I want? It's, what emotion aligns with that version of me? And am I willing to feel it now unconditionally? This isn't about faking it. It's about embodying congruence. It's learning to shift your breathing, regulate your heart, move your body with the quiet confidence of someone who already trusts the field, to speak as though it's already done, not because you're forcing belief, but because you've surrendered the doubt. And that surrender, that's not weakness, that's power. Because when emotional interference falls away, the field finally has room to respond. This is why people who've never studied manifestation sometimes create effortlessly. They feel safe, open, expectant. Their nervous system is aligned. Their signal is clean. They're not trying to make reality move. They're simply being. And being, when emotionally coherent, is the fastest form of creation. But don't confuse speed with intensity. It's not about holding joy at full volume all day. It's about returning to that emotion more often than you return to fear. Each time you do, you strengthen the signal. You reprogram your cells. You retrain your subconscious. You tune your vibration. Until one day, it clicks. The emotion becomes your baseline, and when that happens, the field mirrors it back through synchronicities, opportunities, and new realities. You realize it was never about doing more, and it was always about feeling first. Because emotion bypasses logic. It rewires the brain. It synchronizes the heart and the mind. And coherence, not concentration, is what makes manifestation instant. So if you want speed, forget the list of techniques, forget the timeline, forget the question, how long will it take? Ask instead, how deeply can I feel it now? Because the moment your emotion matches the memory of your future, the field can't tell the difference, and when the field can't tell the difference, reality collapses fast. Most people treat the body like a passenger in the manifestation process as if it's just along for the ride. But the body isn't passive, it's the antenna, the transmitter. The clearest signal the field can hear. Your body is the proof of your coherence or the absence of it, and until your body believes what your mind imagines, there's no signal strong enough for the universe to obey. That's why some people do everything right. The journaling, the visualization, the gratitude, and still feel stuck. Because beneath the rituals, their nervous system is still telling the same old story. Their posture still says waiting, their breath still whispers fear, their voice still trembles with unworthiness, and the field doesn't respond to what you say. It responds to what you embody. Because embodiment speaks louder than thought. The timeline you desire isn't something you chase, it's something you step into. Vibrationally, by becoming the version of yourself who already lives there. And that version doesn't exist in your mind. It exists in your energy. It lives in your spine, beats through your pulse and hums in your chemistry. Your entire body is a broadcast. And when that signal is clear, reality shifts instantly, faster than logic, faster than any plan, faster than doubt can even respond. But embodiment isn't acting. It's not pretending until you believe it. It's feeling it until it becomes undeniable. Not out there. In here. In the rhythm of your breath. In the way you stand, speak, and move. Because the moment your body starts behaving as if the future is already here, the field begins to collapse that version into existence. This isn't fantasy. It's physics. When two energies meet, the stronger one pulls the other into alignment. And when you hold your frequency steady, reality syncs with you. Yet here's where most people get stuck. They wait for permission. They want to feel successful after the results. They want to feel loved after someone chooses them. They want to feel free after the money comes. And so, their body stays loyal to the past, their energy anchored in what's missing instead of what's possible. The real shift happens when you reverse the order. Feel it first, let the evidence follow. This isn't pretending, it's commanding. Every emotion you send out is an instruction to the field. When you breathe in peace before the proof appears, you collapse a version of reality where peace is unconditional. When you open your body and trust the process, you're declaring, this is already true for me. Move with certainty, and uncertainty dissolves, act from joy, and the waiting disappears. Embodiment ends performance. It ends the chase. It begins integrity, when your energy and your actions finally match. And when that happens, the universe bends faster than you can explain. The you that was always trying disappears. And in that quiet space, something new arrives, not from the mind, but from the body, in the way you breathe, walk, and take up space. In the calm steadiness of someone who no longer hopes, they know, because you're not manifesting anymore. You're living it. Each second you stay in that state, your signal stabilizes, your magnetism amplifies, and the outer world catches up with breathtaking speed. So here's your reminder, your code. Speed is a state of being. Reality doesn't respond to effort or hours. It responds to energy, to what you embody now. Because this moment is the manifestation. If you can feel it now, it's already here. We were taught to chase the future, to move toward it, to earn it, to attract it. But in truth, the future isn't ahead of you, it's folding into you. It doesn't need your struggle, it needs your alignment, a resonance so clear that your chosen timeline can't help but magnetize you in. You don't chase anymore. You're carried. This is reverse. manifestation, not moving backward, but stepping out of control, letting surrender replace force, presence replace effort, identity replace desire. Because when you finally become the frequency of your future, the universe has no choice but to bring it home. There's already a version of you living the life you've been trying to create. That version breathes with ease, walks with confidence, and thinks from completion, not from lack. It feels calm, makes decisions from inner knowing, and sends out a frequency that's always searching for harmony. The moment you quiet the noise of fear, doubt, and constant striving, that signal becomes clear. You begin to feel the pull, that not as a concept but as a real, physical guidance. A magnetic current drawing you toward the right people, places, choices, and opportunities that logic could never predict. You're no longer forcing your way forward. You're aligning with a timeline that already exists, waiting for you to match it. And when that pull starts, it feels both strange and deeply familiar. Strange, because the old logic of effort and planning begins to dissolve. Familiar, because deep inside, you recognize it. You remember that reality has always obeyed vibration, not willpower, but most never feel this pull, because they never stop pushing. They fill the silence with effort. Overwhelm and rituals meant to make it happen. They chase signs and results, not realizing that the chase itself keeps them stuck in the past. You can't hear the signal of your future if you're addicted to the noise of who you used to be. You can't be pulled forward while still clinging to the identity that's not ready to move. Everything changes when you choose emotional neutrality. Not excitement, not hope, but peace. Peace tells the field, I've stopped trying. And that's when your future starts pulling you in. Because peace is power. It's the energetic signature of embodiment, the frequency of already done. Here's the paradox of acceleration. The faster you want it, the stiller you must become. Movement doesn't cause reality to collapse. Coherence does. And coherence is a calm hum beneath the surface, a grounded knowing that doesn't chase or grasp. It simply receives and responds with quiet certainty. And yes, sometimes this means making choices that defy logic. You'll feel called to stop doing things that once mattered. You'll be guided to move, speak, or say yes to something you can't explain. That's not confusion, that's resonance. You're no longer led by preference, but by alignment. Then a rhythm emerges. Time softens. Synchronicities multiply. People appear with perfect timing, saying exactly what you needed to hear. Doors open where resistance used to be. You're no longer pushing toward the future, you're responding to its pull. And that response collapses years of effort into moments of flow. This is the frequency of inevitability. It's not loud or dramatic. It's subtle, steady, and absolute. And once you experience it, you'll never fall for the old idea of trying harder. Because you'll know the truth. The moment you stop being the one who waits, you become the one who's already chosen. Not because you earned it, but because you finally matched it. And when you match it, the future arrives faster than you imagined. Then comes a moment no one can predict, a quiet instant that doesn't follow effort, repetition, or ritual. It doesn't announce itself with signs or fireworks. It arrives silently, almost unnoticed, until everything changes. This is the collapse moment, when possibility becomes form, when the unseen becomes real, when the version of you that was once only a feeling becomes your world. It happens faster than reason can explain, because it doesn't follow reason. It follows resonance. It all comes down to frequency. When your vibration holds steady, clear, pure, unwavering, the universe has no option but to respond. Not because you worked hard enough, not because the stars suddenly aligned, but because you finally stopped sending mixed signals. You stopped being the one who's waiting, and became the one who remembers. And when that shift happens, it often catches you by surprise. One morning you wake up and notice something's changed. The desire that once consumed your focus feels quiet now, not because it's gone, but because somewhere deeper than time, it's already done. Reality is just syncing with your coherence. What used to feel distant suddenly feels obvious, natural, inevitable, as if it was always meant to be this way. This is the real speed of quantum manifestation. It doesn't unfold step by step. It arrives whole, all at once, but only when you've become stable enough to hold it. And that stability doesn't come from doing more. It comes from releasing the noise, the contradictions, the constant hoping, the old identity that believed every win had to be earned through struggle. When those distortions fall away, only alignment remains, and alignment moves instantly. It doesn't pause, it doesn't ask permission. The moment your breath, your body, your emotions, and your awareness align into one signal, the field responds, fast, precise, undeniable, and when it happens, you'll feel it. The wanting dissolves. The future stops being a pursuit. The need to control finally fades, not from defeat, but from arrival, because now you've become the receiver instead of the seeker. What you once tried to manifest becomes simply normal life. But don't mistake that moment for an ending. It's not closure, it's a doorway. What collapses isn't just a reality, it's an old identity. And through that doorway, an entirely new field of possibility opens, one that calls for greater awareness, deeper embodiment, and a clearer relationship with your own energy. You're no longer walking a path, you're writing it moment by moment. That's why integration matters, because the collapse is powerful, but sustaining that coherence after the shift determines whether the new timeline expands or fades. To help you anchor this transformation, we've created something intentional, a transmission designed to ground your new frequency, strengthen your alignment, and guide you into full embodiment of your quantum power. It's called Awaken Your Quantum Power, and it's more than just a guidebook. It's an energetic experience, a curated frequency built to help you stabilize your next timeline with precision and consistency. Inside, you'll discover the science, the embodiment techniques, and the subtle energetic tools you didn't realize you were missing until now. The link is in the pinned comment below. Go there not to learn more, but to activate what's already unfolding within you. Because you're not starting something new. You're continuing a shift that's already in motion, and if you feel the pull, follow it. Because the collapse doesn't wait. Neither does the version of you who's already living everything you once imagined.